we are going to discuss the significance of the Nusselt number. What the Nusselt number shows. So for this we are considering a fluid layer which is trapped between two horizontal plates. Now this is upper plate and this is lower plate, and it is at the temperature T1. Lower plate is at the temperature T2 and the fluid is entrapped between these two plates. Now consider case number 1 when T2 is higher than T1. It means lower plate is hotter and upper plate is colder. What happens in this condition? Because this is hotter plate and this is colder plate, so whatever fluid layer comes in the contact with this hot plate, heat is transferred to it and the temperature of this layer increases. Now temperature of the other layer is still low. When temperature of the fluid increases, its density decreases and a buoyancy force is acted upon it. Due to this whole layer and a number of fluid particles will move as a bulk. A complete layer will move upward and the colder layers will take its place, and this layer will rise to the here and transfer its heat to its neighboring fluid, and this bulk motion of the complete layer is known as advection. So basically what is happening here, heat is transferred from plate to this layer by conduction, and this layer is advected to the different location where temperature is lower, and the combination of conduction and advection is known as convection. And we know that the heat flux in the case of convection is given by H delta T. Now consider the case number 2. Same condition, fluid is entrapped between two plates. In second case, temperature of the upper plate is higher as compared to the temperature of the lower plate. Now the fluid, whatever fluid comes in contact with this plate is heated. So the temperature of this layer is increased because this layer is entrapped by this upper plate. So this layer cannot move upward, and because it is lighter, so it cannot move downward, because from the gravity always colder fluid or the higher density fluid will remain at the bottom. So motion of this fluid layer is not possible. It means there is no bulk motion of the fluid. Increasing of the temperature, basically we know that it is basically increasing the internal energy and the non-organized, disorganized motion of the fluid particles. By collision with other layer, this layer will transfer heat to the another layer, and this process continues. Again this layer will transfer heat by collision and by disorganized motion to other layer, because here in this case there is no any bulk motion of the fluid, hence the heat transfer process is basically conduction. And already we know from the basic understanding that the heat transfer rate in case of fluid by conduction is very less as compared to the convection. In case number 2, the heat transfer rate or the heat flux is basically given as K del T by L, because L is the distance between two plates, and we know that in case of conduction we apply the Fourier's law of the conduction. Now we are going to consider the significance of the Nusselt number. Okay, divide Q convection by Q conduction. Q convection is H delta T and Q conduction is K delta T into divided by L. So I am taking L here. So delta T and delta T will cancel each other and we will obtain HL by K, which is similar to the Nusselt number. Hence, Nusselt number is basically the ratio of Q convection to the Q conduction. And the physical significance of the Nusselt number is that it shows that how effective the convective process is. It means the bulk motion of the fluid has increased the heat transfer rate in fluid by how many times? So Nusselt number is given as HLC by K, where H is convective heat transfer coefficient, K is thermal conductivity of the fluid. Remember, K is thermal conductivity of the fluid, not the plate, and LC is characteristic length, and characteristic length is given as length of the plate if flow is taken place over a flat place. In case of flow of the fluid inside closed pipe, the LC is given as hydraulic diameter of the pipe. If the pipe is circular, then it should be equal to the diameter of the pipe. Now we can represent the diameter of the pipe in a different way. A is area of the cross-sectional area of the pipe and P is perimeter of the pipe. Area, cross-sectional area of a circular pipe is basically pi by 4 d square, okay, and the perimeter is pi d. Perimeter is pi d. Now after solving, we will get that A by P will be equals to d by 4. After multiply by 4, we will get d. So we can represent the diameter of a circular pipe by a formula 4A by P. But why we are doing this? If flow is taking place inside a duct of different cross-sectional, suppose flow is taking place inside a duct of square cross-section or rectangular cross-section, then by using this formula, hydraulic diameter of the duct or pipe is equals to 4A by P, we can calculate equivalent diameter of the duct to the circular cross section and we can substitute this value in the Nusselt number. So this formula we will use in case of flow through different duct in numericals. The Nusselt number signifies or determines the effectiveness of the convective process. In further lecture, we will see that Nusselt number is a function of Reynolds number and the Prandtl number. In case of convective heat transfer process, our major objective is to determine the heat transfer rate, which is given as Q is equals to HA delta T. Now in the numericals, basically A and delta T are given. Our major effort is to determine the value of H, and H can be calculated with this formula. Nu is equals to H LC by K, or H is equals to Nu K by LC. So if we know the Nusselt number, we can calculate the H, and after substituting the H, we can calculate heat transfer rate in convection. Nusselt number is determined by Reynolds number and Prandtl number. From Reynolds number and Prandtl number, we can calculate Nusselt number. From Nusselt number, we can calculate H, and from H, we can calculate heat transfer rate. So these are the basic two significances of the Nusselt number. In the last lecture, we have discussed convection is combination of conduction and advection. We discussed the formation of boundary layer or the velocity profile when a fluid flows over a flat plate. As in the diagram, we know that due to no slip boundary condition, one layer of the fluid adheres to the plate. This layer of fluid adheres to the plate, and the velocity of this layer is same as the velocity of the plate. Because our plate is stationary, hence this fluid layer is also stationary, and further layer are moving with some velocity, and a velocity gradient is created in the flow field. If the plate temperature is higher than the fluid temperature, suppose the plate temperature is Ts and the fluid temperature is T infinity, then the heat will be transferred from the plate to this layer by conduction. As we already know, when two substances are in physical contact with each other without any motion, conduction process takes place. Now this is represented by K del T upon del Y at Y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 is showing at the surface of the plate or the layer which is having 0 velocity, because we are considering Y in vertical direction and X along the flow of the fluid. So heat flux, heat per unit area, heat flux at the surface of the plate is given by K del T upon del Y at Y is equals to 0, because heat is transferred from the plate to this stationary layer by conduction only. Hence we have applied the Fourier's law of conduction. Now from the energy principle, whatever heat is transferred to this layer is carried away by further layer by advection or by convection, and this is given by HATS minus T infinity. The heat transferred by convection is given by Newton's law of cooling, which is HATS minus T infinity, and from the energy principle they should be equal to each other. Now after further simplification we can obtain H. Now in the end of the lecture we are going to discuss how to determine the mathematical expression for Nusselt number. Earlier in this lecture we have discussed the formation of the thermal boundary layer over a flat plate, and from the energy principle we have derived the expression for convective heat transfer coefficient like this. From this expression we can see that convective heat transfer coefficient basically depends on the temperature gradient at the plate surface. Now as we already know, there is a general method of non-dimensionalizing the terms in fluid mechanics and heat transfer. Why? Because in this way we can compare different operating conditions. Suppose in case number 1, when the air at 30 degrees centigrade is flowing over a plate of temperature 80 degrees centigrade with 2 meters per second. Now we have solved this problem and derived some solution. Now if case number 2, when air at 40 degrees centigrade is flowing over the plate of temperature 90 degrees centigrade with 4 meters per second velocity. Now if we want to compare these two conditions, then we need to non-dimensionalize the problem. Now further in this lecture we are basically non-dimensionalizing this temperature gradient, so that this value of H is general and can be used in different operating condition for a given problem. Now non-dimensional form of temperature is given as theta as Tw minus T divided by Tw minus T infinity. Tw is temperature of the plate, T infinity is the temperature of the air, and T is temperature at a distance y from the plate surface. Okay, so this is varying. Basically Tw and T infinity are fixed for a given problem. Now after rearranging we can obtain the expression for temperature T as theta, T infinity minus Tw plus Tw. So we need to determine the value of del T upon del Y at Y is equal to 0. So after differentiating this expression, we will get del t upon del y at y is equal to 0 as t infinity minus tw del theta by del y at y is equal to 0. Now in this way, these two are connected. Now here y is the distance of the point from the plate surface. Now in this expression, all other terms are non-dimensionalized, so we need to basically non-dimensionalize the distance y also. Okay, now to non-dimensionalize the y, we need to basically divide y with a reference length. So non-dimensionalized form of y is y dash, and y dash is y upon L reference. So after substituting the non-dimensionalized form of the y, we can determine the value of temperature gradient del T upon del y at y is equal to 0 like this. So del theta upon del y at y is equal to 0 will be converted into del theta upon del y at y dash. Y dash is non-dimensionalized form, so L reference will come here. So in this way, now temperature gradient is converted into non-dimensionalized form like this. We will substitute the value of del T upon del y at y is equal to 0 in this expression. So we have replaced this del T upon del y at y is equal to 0 in non-dimensionalized form like this. So we have obtained this expression from here. After simplifying the expression and rearranging, we will get the expression like this: h is equal to k L reference del theta upon del y at y is equal to 0. Okay, because these two terms will cancel each other. So after rearranging, we will get h L reference upon k is equals to del theta upon del y at y is equal to 0. If you remember, what is this? H L reference upon k is expression for Nusselt number. So from this final expression, we can say that Nusselt number is non-dimensionalized temperature gradient at wall, because del theta upon del y is temperature gradient which is non-dimensionalized, and at y dash equal to 0 is at wall. So Nusselt number is basically non-dimensional temperature gradient at wall. So we will stop here, and thank you everyone.